it's what I ate in a day. Here, I think everybody wants to see the snakes. He's skulking around for food. So it's 8 a.m. I'm up earlier than normal. I actually slept like a lot since Friday. I was really tired and now I'm not. So yeah, there's a few things I gotta do. I'm gonna make coffee. Gonna go back to the old French press because I bought the wrong coffee for my espresso machine. Oh, snickle. And I am working on a sourdough starter, so I gotta feed that. If you follow At Hot for Food on Instagram, I have a highlight called Sourdough where I have been showing all the days so far. Right now I'm on day 8 today. It's taking a little longer than the instructions of the recipe I'm following said it was gonna take, but it is working. And I also made some sourdough discard waffles. So you take out some of the starter each day and feed it, which I started doing after like a few days in. So maybe I'm gonna reheat some of those waffles. I think they'll reheat in the waffle iron that I have still out. I froze them because there were so many and I didn't know when I'd get to eating them. So let's get breakfast going. Snickle, you don't get any food. You've already eaten. I can never tell how dark the coffee is going to be in this French press. So sometimes I have to add more water, more coffee. I have 2 starters going, and I think one thing I realized is I keep feeding it different flour every day, which I shouldn't do. And it's not growing because I fed it different flour yesterday. Whole wheat seems to do better than the bread flour I just gave it and the unbleached all-purpose. So anyway, I'm doing this all for the gram, not for this. So if you want to follow along, you gotta go check my IG story. I'll leave a couple of the links that I've been following or links that other people have given me. I haven't been looking at all these resources because it's too much information and I'm trying to kind of just go off of my intuition a little bit and follow the measurements. And the article I started using I've abandoned because it wasn't discarding anything, which I don't think was working. And then you end up with way too much thing happening. So like starter. So there's another article from the kitchen that I've been following, and there's one from the Perfect Loaf somebody sent. So those are linked below if you care to check it out and start Sourdough Club yourself. But it is looking good. It's just gonna take a little longer. It's because I fed it bread flour yesterday and not whole wheat, and whole wheat seems to do better. See, look at this is all discarded. You discard half every day, and like you can't keep up with reusing this, even though there's lots of ways to make stuff with it. I'm just waiting for the waffle iron to heat up and looking at all of these discard recipes. So I might try to make some crackers today. I'm just following other people's recipes. So this is like from the King Arthur flour site. You just need a cup of flour, cup of sourdough discard. You can butter it, I'll replace with regular butter, herbs, salt, and of course sea salt. So it looks fairly easy. So I'll try and make that today, I think. You can also make things like, it's like I'm like allergic to the starter. Is that a thing? I feel like it's got me all itchy. Oh no, I hope I'm not allergic to bread. Can make so many things. Crumpets, I actually kind of want to make crumpets. Although my waffles had a bit of a crumpet-like texture. They were very airy. It really worked well for the waffles. It got them really crispy and airy. And it was, they're very delicious. You'll see momentarily. Hopefully they reheat okay in here. Well, they definitely reheat really nicely. You can hear how crispy they are. I do find it sort of similar to the texture of my waffles, my chocolate chip banana ones and my savory green ones. But I use flour and baking powder in those ones. And this uses buttermilk or apple cider vinegar with non-dairy milk, usually like a soy, but I used oat. It doesn't really matter. Soy just gets nice and thick. And then baking soda plus that, so that reacts to get it really like airy, plus the discard. And I had to let the batter sit overnight with the discard, the flour, and some sugar. And then in the morning I mixed in buttermilk, baking soda, and the egg that I used, which was the just egg stuff. But you could probably use flax egg or whatever. These are almost better left over because they get even more crispy. So one is blueberry and one's banana. And when I poured the batter on my waffle iron, I just plopped the fruit on top. Oh my god. So my guess is even if you didn't have the discard, you could still make my waffles or the one from King Arthur's site, because all it really is the baking soda and that vinegar reacting in the batter. So maybe try that in my recipe. So, oh yeah, so I have 1.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So you could swap the baking powder with baking soda. And then the 1.5 cups of non-dairy milk, add like 1.5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Or maybe 1 tablespoon. Yeah, just add 1 tablespoon of vinegar into the milk and let it sit and thicken. But it should be the exact same otherwise. Oh my god, my nose is running so much. I feel like it's the flour or this yeast, the wild yeast in the air. Is that a thing? It never made me sneeze before. Oh my god, I have to go. I'm just outside. I just meditated, and everyone's always asking me what I do, but I have a lot of videos about meditation already that I shot you know, a while back, and they're all in a playlist, so that's linked here and below, so you can check that out. But something new that came out, I don't know if you guys know this, but I listened to Live Awake, Sarah Blondin, and she has a book coming out soon, and she also has a couple, well, she has one longer new episode of her podcast, Live Awake, so go subscribe to that and listen if you haven't to any of the older ones. She's got a lot of other ones, and I use those as meditations. They're really, really powerful, and every time I listen I cry. The new one's really amazing, especially for right now. It's all about gratitude, so I suggest Sarah Blondin, Live Awake, and that's really a good one to start with. They're guided, so she's speaking to you, but they're very, very soft. And one thing I wanted to mention is that, as you know, I had to postpone my Live with Purpose Bali trip with the Getaway Co. We don't know really when we're going to be able to do it again. We postponed it till June, but I don't think that's going to happen, so we're looking at new dates. But in the meantime, we are manifesting that come September, everything will be somewhat back to the way not it was, but to a way where we're able to travel. So manifest it with me. September 11th to 18th, the Getaway Co and I are doing Manifest Your Life in Portugal, in a place called, and I should have made sure I knew how to pronounce this first, Cautionary, I believe. It's coastal, it's beautiful. I've never been to Portugal, so that's also why I maybe mispronounced that. And it's going to be 7 days in Portugal. It's called Manifest Your Life. Hot for food inspired meals, some local cuisine turned vegan. Portugal is very vegan friendly, actually. And I'm also going to be doing a vision board manifest your life workshop and one cooking demo on a different day. So go to the website, I've linked it in the description below. You can read about the trip. It is not free, it is a paid, curated luxury vacation, fully plant-based. The whole itinerary is planned and taken care of. Most of your meals are taken care of. You do have to pay for accommodation and flight. And so if anybody is looking forward to traveling when this pandemic subsides slightly and we're able to travel, right now you can go sign up. Essentially, we just want to get an idea of who's interested, who wants to go on this trip. Obviously, we'll be keeping a close eye on travel advisories and everything going on, and it's possible we'll have to postpone this one, but I don't want to put that out to the universe. So if you think this is something that you'd be interested in and want to give it a go, it's going to be really, really fun. Natalie won't be on this trip. It's going to be different than Live with Purpose, but we'll be doing a couple of yoga and meditation things on a couple of the days, but it's not going to be this like comprehensive meditation program like Natalie and I did for Live with Purpose. But still fun nonetheless, just a slightly different experience. Please go check that out if that's something that calls to you. Obviously, it may not be possible for many people to pay for travel at that time, given work situations and whatnot, but I still think there are people who might be in a position to do this. So that's why we're still forging ahead, business as unusual, putting out this offering, which we had been planning since last year. So we figure we might as well plan ahead kind of as normal, and then we'll obviously course correct and pivot if we need to come closer to that date. So anyway, yes, it's very loud out here. I live near the highway. So anyway, just wanted to let you know about that. And I'm going to try to now do some kind of workout of some sort back here, since it's not that hot out. And we will continue on with whatever I will be eating today. I was just doing some stretches. And here's something I realized with this whole thing about working out is that I'm completely competitive and care what people think, because I can only work out when I'm in a class when there's other people around, and that's like what motivates me. I am completely not motivated without that. So I realized that about myself. I think I already knew both those things, but that's where it proves itself very dominantly, is that the workout classes are what I thrive on, because I realize that I'm just competing with everybody. But it gives me like a marker. Like if I see someone doing really good, I'm like, okay, I gotta strive for that. And if I see somebody struggling, I'm like, okay, well, at least I'm doing better than that. It's sick, but that's one of my quarantine confessions. I'm sure a lot of people actually have realized the same thing, because there's so many people complaining about having to work out at home and that it's not the same. And it really isn't. Not that it's anything to complain about. This is beautiful, but I certainly don't get as much done as if I were in a class. And even doing the online classes, like they're okay and they're better. I've done a few where I've like actually done the full workout. But lately I just haven't been doing them for some reason. Just fiddling around on my own. Alright friends, just at the computer here. Gonna do some work. It's 11:30. Just gonna eat some mixed nuts here. Just a bit while I work. And then we'll make some crackers. Now I just remembered also, I'm supposed to be getting a special delivery today. I'm not gonna tell you what, in case it doesn't come. Someone was gonna drop something off. I hope they do, because that will be tasty, tasty for us. Well, for me. Also, I got my first edit of my manuscript for the new cookbook back, so I have to go through that by May 7th. It's a first round of edits. So now the real tedious work begins, where I have to keep reading what I wrote over and over and over again, and making sure there's no mistakes. And obviously updating some of the terrible things I wrote to be grammatically correct now. must have felt their vibes because they came and dropped off the package. Veggie Fam LA. It's vegan fried chicken. It's a chicken kit or whatever you call it. DIY kit. DIY OG hot fried chicken strips. Fry for 2 minutes. Fully thaw before cooking. Okay. Fully thaw. I guess I'll leave them on the counter then. Because we're gonna eat it. Dip chicken in hot sauce, coat, season, dip. Nice. Thanks guys, this is very nice. If you live in LA, then you can follow them and order your kit. Maybe you can use this promo code. Gratitude for $2 off. I'm sure they won't mind me sharing that. It's what time? 1:40. I'm just gonna eat some leftover chicken pot pie soup. This is the one from my book, but I made it without the puff pastry top. And I'm just getting some butter softened a little before I make the crackers. That's the last of my soup. The dough recipe, I just make the dough, then I refrigerate it for 30 minutes or up to a couple hours until firm. Then I roll it out, then I cut it. All right, so we'll do that, even though I have 2 boxes of crackers in my cupboard. So this has taken much longer than I thought because I put it in the fridge and then went about my business, and it's now 4 o'clock when they're going in the oven. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so the recipe I followed, I linked below. It's the King Arthur flour recipe, but I ended up having to add a 1/4 cup extra flour, so I used almond flour to get the dough to the right consistency. And I did some square like they said. Oh, and I also put garlic powder, dried basil, dried thyme, and fresh rosemary in it. And then I did some like twists, which I'm excited about because they're gonna be crispy twisties, I hope. So they take 20 to 25 minutes to bake, but I'm suspecting a little bit longer. And here's a little bit of information that I'm not really sure about and if it's just coincidental, but since I've been eating this discard, 8 waffles today, it's giving me some uncomfortable gas. Is that a thing that happens with this wild yeast? I don't know, maybe it's just a coincidence because I haven't eaten anything else that I haven't eaten in the last few days, so it doesn't make any sense. This is the only different thing. Or yeah. Okay, well, anyway, if that's a thing you've noticed, let me know. If I'm crazy, also let me know. Some got really crispy, like the edge ones, but the middle, I think I made them a little too thick. It was very hard to roll out because they say to do it on parchment, then it slides all over the place. So I'm just trying them with some of my cashew cheese. On their own, they need like double the amount of salt in the dough. Yeah, they're not very flavorful. They definitely need more salt. I suppose I should have tasted the dough before I went and finished them. I've got some green olives here that are really good. So that'll add some saltiness. These are cute for dipping, but they're lacking in flavor. Those discard waffles made me so bloated that I'm not even hungry. So we have to wait for that chicken, and then I'll make it on a salad or something. right, well, I'm not even gonna wait. I'm just gonna taste this right now. It looks very similar to my seitan. Now, I'm not gonna coat it all because I'm just not like that. Ooh. Oh, this is almost hotter than the hot sauce. Holy shit. Yeah, that's too hot for me. That zangy sauce. We'll go with ranch. Yeah, the texture of this is good. Not too hard, not too soft. Actually. Ranch is good. I'm actually gonna cut it up, put it on here. I should have just coated it, that was dumb. Okay, whatever, a little bit of hot sauce. I'm gonna just use the ranch as my salad dressing. You know how I love those squeeze battles. I just wanna eat. All right, well, anyway, the day got away from me. That's just why I'm kind of burnt out. It's 8:20. It's kale, romaine, hemp hearts, red onion, avocado, cilantro. This is a chicken. It's nice and crispy. I really like the outside. At first I thought it was cornflakes, but I don't know, some kind of nice homemade breadcrumb. So thanks to Veggie Fam for sending that my way. That was a surprise today. Reading up all my sourdough messages. Yeah, got all the textures here. I quite like it. This was a unplanned quarantine day. This actually was more like a regular day, like as if nothing's going on out there. So when do you think it's gonna be over? It doesn't seem like it's gonna be over anytime soon. I think we're gonna be wearing masks for a long time. And where I am, I have to wear masks no matter if I'm walking outside. People walking dogs have to wear masks, so I don't wear one in my backyard. But did you read the article that was like saying that they found the particles of COVID in air pollution? It's almost like this thing is trying to save the planet. The air is clearing. It's attaching to air pollutants, which means it doesn't want air. We don't want air pollutants in the air then, if that's the case, or we have to reduce what we're doing. Animals are coming back and all this rewilding is happening. I don't know if it's actually rewilding, but that's what it reminds me of. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into any more of that. That was just an off-the-cuff remark that came to mind. What do you want, Nicole? I was maybe gonna have some beer, but maybe that's not good to mix with all the other fermented stuff I'm eating. Oh, f it. I'm gonna try this Modern Times Sour Tropical. Actually, I think I've had this before. I went and got some craft stuff at this bar that was selling stuff out of their place close to my neighborhood, like a few days ago. All right, cheers, y'all. That was a long rambling ending to this. I'll see y'all soon. All right, I was done this vlog, but just a little word of warning, because I've been going through my DMs and talking to Timothy, Mississippi Vegan, and I don't think I should be eating that discard at this stage because it isn't a starter. And this is what's so effing confusing about all the sourdough information on the internet, is it's all, some of it BS, and it's all different. And like the King Arthur Flour website pretty much says to eat the discard on day 2 and start making recipes with it, but they're saying that because they're a flour company and they probably like want to promote no waste. But like, I literally look like I'm having twins right now, and I'm so bloated, and it's from fucking discard that you're not supposed to eat, because even Timmy's like, he's like, you wouldn't eat kimchi before it's ready, so why would you eat a starter before it's ready? So I guess everyone's saying starter discard is like once it's already a starter. But at that point, you don't need to discard any of it. You can just use it. Makes no sense. It's very, very annoying, I have to say. So everything I did in today's vlog, don't do. Don't make waffles with the starter unless it's fully fermented and it's like actually a sourdough starter. Not if you're trying to grow your starter from scratch, which is what I'm trying to do. I have not inherited a starter from anywhere. I'm making it from scratch, and it's been 8 full days and it's not ready yet. And I'm eating this shit that I'm throwing away, and it's making me like sick and bloated. So just a cautionary word of warning. You should never look at some of the things I do as like I know what I'm doing, especially this. I mean, most of the stuff I know what I'm doing, but this I have absolutely no idea. This is like a novice idiot experiment with sourdough. And I feel sick. I feel like I have like something in my body that's not supposed to be in there, which I do. Bacteria. Okay, night y'all.